So Joe Biden basically put fossil fuels, oil and gas production on death row. Okay, death row. He gave them 10 years to live in a remarkable statement in his State of the Union. So I need some commentary from my dear friend Rick Perry, former Energy Secretary, former Texas governor. Rick Perry, I mean, that's such a staggering throwaway. Oh, well, we need it for another 10 years, so it's on death row. What do you make of that? I mean, how can he say that?
I'm pretty sure that was off script, would be my bet. But this is the way they operate. I mean, think about it. Even when we, since this is the weeks of the balloon, let's talk about trial balloons. And they float these trial balloons up there to see whether they'll get shot down or not. The gas stove is a great example of it. I mean, what an idiotic idea. And they floated it up there and it got shot down. But that's what's scary about these folks, is that they use all of these just completely out of the realm of possibility ideas. But if they think they can get by with it, they will. They really dislike the fossil fuel industry to the point of where you're going to see power bills, electric bills, heating bills this winter up in I think they're going to see some stunningly high heating bills up in the Northeast because they don't let pipelines go across New York because of the war on fossil fuels that's going on out there. So there's a cost associated with this, and it is stunning to people. It's the cost to people. And this praying at the altar of the environment, it may sound kind of cool and hip if you're a young person that you're for the environment. But I hope that those young people will study a little bit. Hey, read Alex Epstein's book, Fossil Future, and find out the real story about why fossil fuels are so important, why their ability to help the planet flourish is the reality, and that they've been fed a bill of goods by those on the left, the climate activists, who have a totally different agenda. And that agenda, I will suggest to you, is based in Marxism.
Oh, yes, of course. It's anti-markets, it's anti-capitalism, it's government-driven command and control, central planners. Yeah. I agree, Rick. I think that's a really important point. You know, it's just so odd to me. Here you've got President of the United States, stands up there before the Congress, but the entire country, the entire world watches these things. 70-some-odd% of our power comes from fossil fuels, and he's saying it's got 10 years to go, okay? That's just remarkably stupid. Nobody could possibly believe that. The other thing I want to comment on, oil, Rick, even though they've practically depleted the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, I mean, they've slashed it in half, oil prices still $80 or so. They ought to be around $50. Gasoline prices $3.50 nationwide. It ought to be about $2 at $2.25. In other words, the costs of this are still damaging, middle-class working folks. And there's none of that was ever mentioned. None of that. And he's blaming big oil, right? Big oil makes too much money, and we have to tax them more. Well, big oil's making too much money because prices are high. Prices are high because they won't let them produce. It's because of the government policies in the first place that have backfired. Yeah,
you nail it. The issue here is again, the cost to the consumer, and it's not just the cost of the pump. I mean, I get that, and everybody that goes and fills up their car feels that pain. But it's the cost of fertilizer to grow the food that we eat. It's the cost of all of the packaging. It's a cost of practically everything that fossil fuels are the basis of. And instead of vilifying this, I wish we had a president, and hopefully we will in the not too distant future, that actually celebrates America's position of being a great energy producer, one that is making people's lives better. Again, I go back to these on the left that want fossil fuels to die are basically saying they want people around the world to die. individuals who don't have access to those engines that allow for a flourishing of their life, whether it's irrigation water or whether it's being able to give power to a community that doesn't have electricity, for a hospital, for a sonogram, for an incubator. I mean, those are the kind of things that I just don't understand how you can be that black-hearted, that you could care that much for some religion that's false on its face, this environmental religion, and to turn your back on mankind like that and to say, sorry, you're going to die. Now, you know, those on the left still going to fly around in their jets and do the things that they do and go to Davos and have a big time and preach to us about how we're supposed to live our lives. But the hypocrisy of it is pretty strong. And I hope the folks in the mainstream media, like Fox, will continue to, or I should say, continue like Fox, to point this out and say, is this how we treat hypocrisy in America today? I'm holding my breath.
No, well, I'm working on it. But, you know, refined petroleum products cover every nook and cranny of the economy, and the Bidens will never acknowledge that. Anyway, Rick Perry, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Kudlow. Happy weekend.
You bet.